In life, there's a saying that if you don't take a risk or try something new, you won't ever get anywhere where your dreams are. That quote really hit me when I stepped outside the airport and smelled the air of where my family, my parents, and my sister grew up in. I know I'm taking a huge leap of faith today by coming to a place that I'm not really familiar with, but I came here for a mission which is to help a nation from its health problems, and I'm going to fulfill it no matter what it takes. I know that there's a lot of work to be done, but I've got to take some small steps before I jump to my big dream. And coming from the airport, I already saw many health hazards taking place, like trash on the streets, and I know Pakistan was not always like this. So I'm going to help try to reunite this Pakistan to its old self and help sustain it. Just came back from the airport. I'm really pumped and excited about my journey and my mission here in Karachi, Pakistan. And I can't wait till tomorrow and what tomorrow will bring. Hopefully I'll go to a doctor tomorrow and talk about my ideas and what I really want to do here in Karachi. And hopefully he might give me some ideas to push towards and where to implement them. And sooner or later I might need to get some organizations involved as well. And hopefully I can get a bunch of them. And they can help me sustain what my ideas are. And hopefully I can once I go back to America, all my American fellows can help me and support me with funds and a lot of love. And once I come back here in about 6 months, my whole packet, my whole idea will be fulfilled, and I can implement it right here in Karachi where help is needed, and hopefully I could sustain it with the help of other organizations. Right now, I'm kind of really exhausted, coming after a 16-hour flight. I should probably get some rest and prepare for tomorrow. Just woke up, day 2 here in Karachi, and kind of excited for what today holds. Going to a doctor, Dr. Munir Sheikh. He's a doctor here in Karachi, and hopefully he can give me some directions, some ideas, where there's help needed in Pakistan, and I'm kind of hoping that he might guide me. Assalamu alaikum. And hello, my name is Talha Wahid, and I'm a student from Parish Episcopal School, and I'm also part of the Academy Global Studies Student, which is a program from my school. So I came to Pakistan to see the health environment. The reason why I chose this topic was because when I read and hear about Pakistani problems, I usually hear topics such as political, economical, and educational, but never about health. So the reason why I began is because I started researching more, and I realized that there are many health topics to be resolved. So my first question is, what 2 main hospitals are here in Karachi?
Main hospitals are Jinnah hospitals, which are government hospitals, civil hospitals. There are many private hospitals also. They are charitable hospitals, and they work for the poor people.
Well, he said that Jinnah and Civil were the biggest hospitals. So tomorrow I'm going to be going to Jinnah, and hopefully I won't be too surprised about the conditions. I guess I'll just have to find out. Just by walking in to Jinnah Hospital, I saw a bunch of ambulances lined up. I think that there was a bomb blast that same morning, so a bunch of ambulances were waiting outside. And the crazy part was where these ambulances were staying was where um, gutters were evident, and there's dirty water everywhere. Just when I was like coming into the hospital, I saw a bunch of people just sitting on the stairs and sitting on dirt, kids playing around. What really hit me was when one of the patients was coming out from outside and inside. They were carrying him in a trolley that was kind of old and really sturdy. It wasn't really holding the patient really well, and that kind of shook me. To see what type of medical equipment is is here in one of the biggest hospitals in Karachi, one of the biggest public hospitals in Karachi. And so another fact was I didn't really want to show. We were not allowed to take footage of the hospital because people were kind of scared. But there's a fountain where people were supposed to sit, but they weren't sitting there because the fountain was filled with trash and the sitting area was filled with flies and bugs. So that whole area was unsanitized, and that kind of shows the main theme of the hospital. And kids were just laying outside, waiting for doctors. They had open cuts. I mean, blood was everywhere basically, and trash was everywhere. And so when I finally sat down, it kind of, hit me that there's a lot of need. There's a lot of needs here, and it needs to be fixed, and change needs to happen quickly. So I'll see what I can do. Just came back from Jinnah Postgraduate Medical Center, and saw a lot of problems already started. And right when I went in, there was a bunch of people just laying around waiting for doctors to arrive. But apparently there weren't any doctors. There probably were doctors, but I didn't see any. And there was ambulance carrying people outside. There's a whole mess. There was also a lot of gutter water sticking out on the tower where the people were sitting in. Flies were running around. Bond spits were everywhere. It was crazy, and I never seen this before. And I think there really should be an initiative started to help change this environment. I went to, there was a water fountain, where people can sit around and mesmerize it basically. But apparently there weren't any water in it, but there was just a bunch of like trash laying around, and so that just shows, the lack of sanitation, the lack of cleaning there is in the hospital where apparently health treatments are being taken place. And the crazy thing is that these OPDs, outpatient departments, most of their clinics were closed when their patients really needed them. So it just shows, the lack of concern people have around here. I'm back on my journey here, and going to the second biggest hospital, biggest public hospital in Karachi, Civil Hospital. Hopefully it's not as nauseating as the last experience, and hopefully the conditions here are better. But I just have to see then.
The conditions here seem to be the same. I saw a lot more people here, a lot more poor and needy people here, people that can't afford that much health treatment here. And the crazy part is there is more trash everywhere. And so I saw people just laying down on dirty benches, sleeping there, children playing under construction sites. And you know one part of the waiting room that I saw was it's outside. It's not inside. And there's a bunch of people just waiting around a counter, just trying to get some type of uh, prescription out of their way. And so there's a lot more people here. And gutter water is everywhere. And people are sleeping under construction, playing under construction sites. And there's a lot of dangerous equipment out. So I'm just kind of scared for the people that are staying there, not to get hurt. People heavily come here, and I understand that this is one of the biggest hospitals, and I just see doctors just hanging around, talking, just going about their day and not realizing that there are people here who are, who really need some type of medical treatment. It kind of disgusts me that there are people here who basically try to save up their money and try to get medical treatment, yet doctors don't oblige to that. They don't really have a sense of care or responsibility to that need. And the surprising fact was people are crying here because they've lost a bunch of their families and friends, and they have no one that can help them. So it just shows that there's a lot to do here. Another problem is that the emergency room is always filled with people. I mean, they're basically waiting outside, eating outside. It's like having a little camp, just trying to hear some type of news on their families and friends, some type of optimistic future for them. But, there's still a lot of dirt, trash everywhere. And I think by implementing my ideas, I can make a big change here. There's always room for improvement, and it needs to be done quick, like I said before, and I'm gonna do it. So I visited Jinnah and I visited the civil hospital, and I saw a lot of problems such as sanitation problems. People are waiting outside. There are no doctors to help these patients. Is it true?
No, it's not like that. Sanitation problems are there is no doubt about it. But doctors are there. We have plenty of doctors, but actually the number of patients are also quite alarming. That's the reason you say there are not. It is not that there are no doctors. There are doctors, but it takes time to see them. That's it.
Since 9% of poor people cannot afford treatment, such as going to private clinics or public clinics? Is there a solution to that?
Solution to that.
Yeah.
If we raise the economic level, if they get better jobs and better payment, then they can afford it. They are poor. That's the reason they cannot go.
Do you think free clinics is effective and can help these
It
poor
is,
people?
it is, of course, it is helping them. Free clinics are helping them. If there would have been no free clinic for poor patients, it would cause a lot of problems.
Well, it's kind of like my last day here now, but my journey hasn't stopped. I'm still passionate about this. I'm going to fix these problems. I went down to Dr. Munir, and he gave me some ideas about supplying free clinics. And I found an organization, hopefully, that is building a free clinic in an environment where a bunch of poor people live and they can't afford health treatment. So we're going to create a free clinic so that they can get free treatment. But my journey does not end here. Hopefully I can get back to America, get a lot of support, get all my funds, come back here in about a year or so, or in 6 months, and get this job done. I really want to make an impact, and my journey hasn't stopped yet. I might be leaving today, but there's a lot to be done still.
I've got a lot to do, and I'm not gonna give up. There's a saying out there that if you don't take a risk, if you don't take a leap of faith, you won't get anywhere. I'm gonna go back to America and I'm gonna make a change for my country and for people that deserve better.